Hey everyone, Jackie here with Enjoying Life's Journey. Welcome back to my channel. I know some of you have been wondering where have we been. It is November 6th now, so I'm going to be doing a little bit of catch-up, if you will. So for today's video, you can see I got my budget up for October, so I am going to be going over income and expense report for October. So update, if you are familiar with the channel, we were in North Dakota working at the sugar beet harvest. So that ended up lasting about 3 weeks, but we did have 4 days off because of weather. So we were there for a while. So while we were working, I didn't want to film anything or post anything. Ricky and I both were working 12-hour shifts, and we were working opposite shifts. So I would work in the evening, and then he would switch with me in the morning. So basically, I would get off at 8 in the morning, and I would go home and still need to tend to the girls for a couple hours, and then if I was lucky, I got maybe a 5-hour nap. But most days, if it was 5 hours, it was a split 5 hours. So, and then I would have to go in that night and work another 12 hours. So as you can imagine, I was just focused on working and getting that done. And we made a decent amount of money in a short amount of time. However, if you watched last month, I did a budget with me video, and I was estimating how much taxes would be withheld, and there were a lot higher taxes withheld than I had anticipated. And I am fighting a sinus infection right now, so I might sound a little, sorry, I might be stuffy or, yeah, so we were working those crazy shifts, so I wanted to just focus on focusing on getting enough sleep, taking care of the girls, and working on that. Also, I enjoy making these videos, and so for me, I've always told myself that if I'm too tired or I'm not motivated to make a video, then I'm not going to. Just because for me, that's not what it's about. I'm here to hopefully help you guys and inspire you guys, or, if I educate you in some way, like that's what I hope to do. But I also want to be able to do it on a good note for myself, where I'm motivated and rested and ready to do it as well. So I know that was a little bit of a spiel. So that's where we've been. We were basically focusing on working. Since then, we have finished the harvest, and we took a few days to get to Michigan, where my mom's at. We stayed a week at my mom's. We did have internet access, but again, I didn't feel like hooking up the computer and doing all of that. We focused on, we did end up getting some work done on the car, and we got work done on the RV, and then we got caught up on laundry and grocery shopping and things like that, and then we got here. So now we are in Kentucky, and we will be working the Amazon Camper Force. So Ricky starts tomorrow, so he's on his Amazon Camper Force, and then I got hired on with Integrity, which is a temp agency. They're all over the nation, and they just started helping out the Amazon in this location. Last year, I worked for Integrity for Amazon during the peak season in Phoenix. So this year I went ahead and just I applied online through Integrity, and then when we got into town, I went to the local office and did my interview and my drug screen and all of that. So I'll be starting in a week. So that gives me plenty of time to get caught up. I have a lot of videos that I've been dying to make, and now that we're kind of settled, we will be here until December 23rd. However, Amazon will pay for our site an extra 2 days after Ricky's last day, so we'll probably just stay through the 25th and then be heading on our way. But that way we're here for a while. Gives me plenty of time to get the girls on a schedule and a routine, get myself on a routine, and get back into making the videos, which I love doing. And now what are we looking at? We're looking at my October budget. And so some of you who saw my income expense report last month, you just saw what this column here, what was actually made and what was actually spent. I wanted to show you what my budget looks like at the beginning of the month and during the month, kind of give you guys an idea of how I budget real briefly. I did have a viewer bring up a really good point about the fact that I mentioned I do a zero-based budget, and that it would be a good idea for me to explain that a little bit more to you guys, just in case you weren't sure what I was referring to. So I wanted to show you this real quick. So basically, at the beginning of the month, I do my best to budget out my money. And so, again, a lot of you might have a fixed income and it makes it a little easier, or you might be like us where income is going to be a little different every month, but we do our best to estimate what we're going to make. And then what we do by saying a zero-based budget is we tell every dollar where to go for the month. So again, I have all of our regular expenses, and these are usually expenses that have a due date. Most of these for me are set to come out automatically. And then you have your regular expenses that you're going to have every month, your gas, your groceries, personal care, household items, things like that. And for me, we were using a cash envelope system. We have gotten off a track and we need to get back on that, because it does help you stay on budget when you use cash for groceries and cash for gas and things like that. So these are like your regular expenses that are going to come up every month. And so I budget those out. And again, I do my best to estimate how much gas we're going to spend and other things. And groceries, I've mentioned this before, I do my grocery budget based on the days of the month. And I do $10 a day. So if there's 30 days in the month, I budget $300. If there's 31, 310, you kind of get the idea there. But basically, I'm just telling everything where to go. Normally, what I used to do, and I thought I was budgeting, was I knew what I made and I covered my regular expenses. And then I just left it there, and I had whatever money I had left. I didn't really delegate to, and actually I didn't even budget gas and I didn't budget groceries before. Now I budget gas and I budget groceries, which help. And then I took it a step farther and started budgeting other expenses that are going to come up, whether they come up yearly or every few months or things like that. And that's, putting money aside for emergency savings. Doing retirement. A lot of people have 401k. It automatically comes out of your check. That's awesome. We no longer have that. So in the future, moving forward, we will be setting up Roth IRAs for us. For now, we don't have anything set up. But as far as that, and then I call sinking funds the things that we want to save for, that we know are going to come up, that in the past we would have considered as an emergency, like we needed new tires or maintenance on the car, which actually that's not an emergency because those things are going to come up. So we are trying to get used to planning ahead. So we would try to budget for that. As well, we homeschool and things like that. Arcadia and Elsa, this is commission jobs. So when our girls do commission jobs, they can earn money that way. So we pay them that way. And then we have our fun, which we count eating out. So we have our grocery budget, which is specifically what we buy food at the grocery store. And then when we eat out, whether it's fast food or sit down restaurant or whatever, that's fun because that's more of a luxury. And then drinks, different events, and then Ricky and my pocket money, which we haven't done in a while, which we're probably going to start doing. But what we try to do is just budget out where everything's going to go, so then there's a zero-based budget, which is zero balance at the end. And again, that doesn't mean you don't have the money, it just means you've told it where to go, whether it's going to go for savings or whether it's going to go for a mini savings for something that's going to come up in a couple months, or whether it's going to be for groceries and gas, your regular money, your regular expenses, fun money, things like that. So that's what the zero-based budget is, in case you guys weren't sure what I was referring to. But for now, I'll show you what we actually made and spent for October. So I'm going to go ahead and close out these tabs so we're not looking at a bunch of stuff. Okay, so I've closed out the tabs, so now you can just see exactly what we made, exactly what we spent, and we'll kind of go from there. Okay, so Ricky at the Sugar Beet Harvest, he made $2,920.89. This is after taxes, okay? I made $1,978.10, and again, that's after taxes. Roughly, we made almost we were just shy of $5,000, but that's how much they kept in tax. They kept a good amount of taxes. And then I get paid from Google for YouTube, and that was actually $18.79. That was actually a donation from one of you guys, from one of my viewers. And unfortunately, I can't see who it's from, but thank you. You know who you are. Thank you so much for donating to us and helping us keep the channel going. It means a lot, and it definitely helps out a lot. Now, rollover, this is what I had left from the previous month that we had rolled over. Either we didn't put anything in savings, or we felt that was how much money we were going to need to cover certain bills before a specific payday. Now, as far as regular expenses, our mail forwarding was $19.95. Adobe Cloud, this is what I use for Photoshop and Lightroom. If any of you are photographers, you would know, you may know what I'm talking about, and that's $10.62 a month. Our cell phone, $50 a month. This is actually going to be going up. Ricky and I finally upgraded our phones to the smartphones, so we did have to upgrade our plan. So our cell phone bill will be going up, starting next month, so you'll see that. Car and RV insurance is $99.37. Groceries, we spent $468.74. The groceries out in North Dakota were a lot more expensive. For instance, a gallon of milk in Arizona was $1.98 versus a gallon in North Dakota was $4.90 something, so almost $5. And my girls drink a lot of milk. And other things too. We ended up going to the neighborhood market, so we definitely spent a lot more groceries because of just the location we're at. Gas, we spent $551.68. Originally, we did not plan on spending that much. However, because the sugar beet harvest did get over before the end of the month, we did have some traveling days in there filling up the RV. So the gas, that's our car and our RV gas. We'll probably start moving forward. I'll probably go ahead and separate those for you guys so you know what we're spending on the RV traveling and what we're spending in the car around town. Propane, we spent $49. We actually ended up filling it right before we hit the road, and then we used the furnace quite a bit before we got to my mom's house, so we had to fill up again, so $49 in propane. We went to the laundromat, it was $8. Diapers, we spent $25.74. Personal care, we spent $22.21. Household, we didn't spend anything. Now, a lot of you have mentioned health insurance, health care. You haven't seen it on my budget. Basically, when we were stationary in Arizona, Ricky had insurance through his work, and the girls and I were covered by the state insurance. Since then, since we've hit the road, none of us have insurance, so we will be dealing with that at tax time to find out whether we're exempt from the penalty or whether we will be paying the penalty. We usually get the child tax credit, so we usually get a significant amount back. So we figured that penalty will come out of what we get back. So I know some of you are wondering how we're budgeting to either pay for insurance or pay for the penalty. So that we're planning on it just coming out of there. Moving forward, we will be starting our own health care savings account, which would be for us. So if we do have yearly visits and things like that, we're going to start paying for those on our own. We'll see about when the new year comes, we'll see about the insurance, whether applying for Obamacare. I'm not really sure how all of that's going to work yet. So I know you guys have mentioned that. However, if we do get anything over-the-counter medicine and stuff, we put that under personal care for now. But moving forward, we will be adding a healthcare section into our thing. Another question people have asked is about internet. We do not have internet. When we hit the road, we canceled internet, we canceled Netflix. We've been using free internet at the camp that we're at in Kentucky. We get free internet. Where we were at in North Dakota, we got free internet. And then you will use the Wi-Fi at McDonald's or something like that if we need to while we're driving. All right, so rollover is any money that needs to go over into the next month to cover any expenses that are going to come out before a paycheck. Now, originally for October, I had money going into our emergency savings and into the RV carb maintenance mini savings because we had a lot of stuff that we still are working on. However, we went ahead and got some car RV maintenance things done. We didn't put anything into savings. Went ahead and rolled over what was left because I'm not sure how the paychecks are going to work yet here at Amazon. So I wanted to make sure we had plenty of money to cover, one, the drive. You know, we had to drive from North Dakota to here, so I want to make sure we had plenty of gas money to get here, and grocery money and all of that. So we rolled over $3,817.85. We did get some work done. We got new tires for the car and an oil change for the car. Those were pretty much needed before we hit the road at the end of August, but we went ahead and waited until after the sugar beet to do it because we weren't really driving the car that much. We were just kind of towing it behind. So that's done. And then we did get, if you watched our reality check video, we mentioned a bunch of stuff that happened with the RV. The biggest thing was we said the muffler came off. Correction, it wasn't the muffler, it was the end of the exhaust. So we had that basically custom built, like someone had added that back on, and we still have the gas tank to deal with, and we are going to be dealing with that either while we're working here at Amazon, we have some days off, or after Amazon. Now that we're not driving, we're stationary for a little while, we have a little bit of time to work that out, but we're hoping that all we really need to do is have everything flushed out, but I have no idea what that's going to cost. And then we still need two new front tires for the RV because those were coming due, and then an oil change for the RV as well. So that we'll have to budget for coming in the future. Giving, this could be anything, like if we're saving for birthdays or Christmas or anything like that, or if we spend that. This month it was $43. We did some of that with some tip money. Ricky and I celebrated our anniversary, so we went out to a nice restaurant, and so we had the tip for that. And then Arcadia actually wanted, she met a friend here at the campground here in Kentucky, and she wanted to buy him a present, so she went ahead and did that, which was really sweet of her to do. And then we basically, anything we make off of Google, we just put into our office fund, and so that $18 went into our little office fund. And that here, if we are saving, if we have any money left over, that would be here in the balance area. Basically, we had some money that we've made off of Google, and that was what allowed us to upgrade our cell phones to the smartphones. So now we can, before we couldn't do like picture messaging, and we didn't have internet access, so now we do, so we can take pictures. So we're going to start posting pictures on our Facebook page, start being a little more active on there, and then maybe even doing small unedited videos that we can at least upload, just to kind of keep more interaction with you guys as well. So we count those as like our office upgrades. Fun, basically we spent $160.87 eating out. Again, most of those were fast food drive-thrus, but we did, Ricky and I, like I mentioned, we did a nice restaurant. We did Cracker Barrel also as like a sit-down restaurant on our way over here, and then drinks, basically buying beer, $26.31. Yeah, so that's basically our income and the expenses that we had for October. Again, most of that we were stationary, working at the sugar beet harvest, where we did not have a campground fee that was paid for, and we did not have any internet fee. Our water and sewer, all of that was covered in there, so that really helps with expenses, not having rent, so to speak, and we don't have an RV payment, so that really helps as well. So again, basically we gave every dollar a name, we told it where to go and what was left for this month, because we're trying to kind of get back on track with our budget. We went ahead and just rolled over what we had left for November. So if you're interested in how I do the budget and you kind of want to learn it, and maybe do your budget along with me, I will have my other video, the budget with me video, and so I'm going to be budgeting out our month of November. Yeah, so thanks for watching, and I'll see you next month. Bye.